Hi there, everybody. I received an email asking for guidance on how to handle fighting when a spectrum child is physically aggressive, hitting, shoving, biting, etc. Also verbally abusive, name calling, saying cruel things, physical threats like I'm going to get a knife and stab you, I'm going to blow up the school, things like that. But for this week, I'm only going to address the verbal threats. The physical aggression must be handled more delicately and strategically, so giving you advice in this format just wouldn't give you the specific guidance you need. That being said, if you're a parent or a teacher who is on the receiving end of angry outbursts and threats to stab you, kill you, blow you up, or some other kind of violence, then you're not alone. When my now 12-year-old was in first grade, he'd threatened to cut my head off, stab me to death. He'd even threatened to kill his classmates whenever he got mad. Can any of you relate to this? Can you also relate to the feeling of being completely helpless to change it because everything you do just doesn't work and you're exhausted from trying, and now you're just dreading the next time something sets your child or your student off? If you answered yes to those questions, then I want to help send you in the right direction so that conflicts like this get resolved in a whole new way in your home or classroom. This is a very common problem that new clients come to me with, and I coach them in understanding what the real issue is and how to remedy it. So what do you think the issue is? Do you think your child really wants to do these things? Do you think your child really hates you when he says, "I hate you"? Do you think your spectrum son really plans to kill his younger sister because he blurts it out when he gets frustrated each time they play together? In talking to my younger spectrum clients, as well as my own spectrum sons, I was able to discover what made them feel that this approach, using this language, was the best way to go. Do you know what I learned? They do it because it's effective. I've had many parents bring young male clients to me who were threatening to kill their little sisters and were unable to find anything to remedy the situation. When I would ask the parents what they've tried so far, I would frequently hear things such as, "Well, we explained it's wrong to talk to people like that. We explained that it hurts the other person's feelings when they say those things." Or they said they'd warn their children about future consequences of saying those words, like you get arrested for things like that. The most ineffective thing they did was punish their children for talking that way. The one reason this very common approach that is used by both parents and educators alike doesn't work is because it focuses on the method instead of the message. They emphasize the behavior instead of the reason for it. When a parent hears their son say, "I'm going to kill you," to a sibling, they tend to react with shock and fear. They quickly scold the child for saying such horrible things and then punish the child without taking any time to figure out what the problem was. They rarely ask, "Did something make you really angry just now?" Or, "Why did you use those words to show your sister you're angry?" You don't ask a question like, "Why do you hate your sister?" And you certainly don't tell them, "You don't hate your sister for real, do you?" Because when you ask a question like, "Why do you hate your sister?" that question focuses on the words, not the meaning behind them. The words your child is using in that instance are angry. Ask about the anger. What made you angry right now? Is something that your sister doing making you angry? When I've had conversations with my sons and my clients, the answers I receive are practically identical. They say the words they say. "I'm going to kill you, I hate you, get away from me." They say these things because that's the only thing that works, that gets the person who is upsetting them to back off. One client said that everything he was encouraged to say didn't work. His parents told him to say things like, "Please don't do that, it's upsetting me. Please leave me alone right now, that's distracting." He used all the right words, but his sibling didn't listen. So he reverted to what worked. He went back to the "I will kill you, I'll break your arm, I'll ruin your toys," things like that. So in this scenario, one thing parents frequently miss is that they only instruct the child who gets upset and forget to instruct the child who's doing the upsetting. They told him how to talk to his sister, but they didn't instruct the sister on how to respond when he talks to her in the preferred way. Make sense? The bottom line is this. When your spectrum child uses violent words like this, it's because they don't know how to express their feelings of helplessness in a way that will get them supported by you instead of punished. The more you give all the attention to what they said, the more you reinforce the fact that you don't get it. You don't get that they're afraid. You don't get that they're angry. You don't get that they're frightened and they're just trying to protect themselves. They just want the frustration to stop, and stop now, so they do what's effective. But the sooner you get to the bottom of what their words are trying to accomplish, they're trying to express anger, fear, ask about those feelings, the sooner you can negotiate with the child what words they can use that will get them the support they need. Then, each time the child uses the words you agreed to, such as, I told you I didn't like what you were doing and asked you to stop, now I'm going to tell mom or dad. So when the child does this, you'd better step up and intervene. And as an educator, you have got to be a model for conflict resolution and have zero tolerance for teasing and bullying in your classroom. When you follow through, your follow-through teaches that the new words get results, and then the more violent words become unnecessary. I've coached a lot of clients through this process of negotiating new language with much success. It often requires coaching each person involved in the conflict, which I can teach you how to do, to get the results you want and experience more peace and civility in your household or classroom. But start with what I've shared today, and it will begin to move you in the right direction. And please share this with other parents or teachers who can benefit from it. Well, I think I've given you enough to start with. That's all for now. Thank you for asking the question for this week. And until next week, thanks for being you.